Welcome to Ole Walls House. It's me. It's your man. It's your main man. It's Ole Walls, and I'm back with you. Episode 197. Before we get into all that, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for the watches. Thank you for the listens. Thank you for doing all the support you do. Don't forget about the merch shop that is in the show notes below. You can find the link and go check out some cool Ole Walls House merch, as well as merch from my guy MJ over at the Full Range Podcast. Don't forget to check out MJ over at the Full Range Podcast on Spotify or on the Ole Walls House YouTube channel. Okay, today, some news. There was some news in college football, and Nick Place is here to talk to me. So, quick heads up, Nick and I talked originally on Sunday morning before the news broke. So we're going to play that in its entirety. And then we actually reconvened and talked again after the news of Franklin being fired happened. So we'll let that one go. That's going to be what we're going to start off with. Then we'll go talk MLB or NBA, a little MLB, Flyers hockey, my passing thoughts, all that good stuff at the end. So without any further ado, let's just go dive into it. All right, Nick, we're welcoming you in. I got I believe it was this morning, right? Yeah, it was just this morning. Are you doing Penn State on the pod? And I was going to talk about a little bit, but you seemed like you had some things to say. And I figured, why not? Let's get into it. Let's discuss it. So, Nick, how you doing today, buddy?
Good, Walls. Thanks for having me. I needed a place to vent. I needed a safe space, and Ole Walls House is the safest of spaces. So here I am.
I was there last week. I declared my doneness with this team. I believe in watching back different clips, the studio made up about 47 different clips of me saying I'm done 87 different ways. So I got there. So I got my venting out. So the floor is yours, man. Start where you want, go where you want, and lead us.
I kind of decided that I was done after the Oregon loss. I was big on if they can't win that game with the setup they have, off a bye, at home, the whiteout, all that, they'll never get it done. And then, of course, they just sucked me back in late in the fourth quarter with tying the game, getting to overtime. Should have won it in overtime. And then Aller, like he does, breaks our hearts because throws in a triple coverage. So take the loss, whatever. Lose to UCLA. I was already off the ship. I mean, maybe I was still holding on to the rope, getting dragged by it, but then you lost me. And now you get beat at home by Northwestern. Not saying Northwestern's bad. They're 4-2 this year. It's a good record. But you're 21 or 24 point favorites and you lose at home when you know you have to win. That's where I'm going to just draw the line, and I'm done. I think I am done as a fan until Franklin's gone.
Yep, that was my thing. I wasn't quite done after the Oregon game because I was like, you know what? I should be, but I won't. They're gonna go to Ohio State. They're gonna hang around, and then I'll just get heartbroken again. I'm like, we can't beat Ohio State. But yeah, then you kind of put the bug in my ear. You're like, I'll watch the games, but I'm not buying any more merch. I'm not getting invested. And I was like, you know what? He's right. Maybe I'll just watch games. So I was then like, I'm just watching the UCLA game last week, and it's like, no, this team's never gonna change. Mm-hmm. And it's like now they're not even. This is. Now Franklin has lost 4 games, I believe all since 2020, as a 20-plus point favorite. No other coach in the history of college football, I believe, has lost more than 3 of them. He's lost 4 and 2 in back-to-back weeks.
I believe Penn State is the first team in college football history. I think I saw the stat yesterday. The first
to do it back-to-back weeks, right?
To lose back-to-back weeks is 20-plus point favorites.
One of which is at home, and these they're terrible. These teams are terrible.
I mean, UCLA
did just lay the wood on somebody yesterday.
I know, but they fired their head coach, offensive coordinator, and defensive coordinator the week leading to Penn State, and then dumped 42 on us.
Yeah, Jerry Neuheisel had never called plays.
That guy should just go coach the Steelers because he's great.
They got a big matchup today. Steelers, Browns. Quarterbacks are combined 86 years old.
Yeah, Well,
Or 81,
Dylan
81.
Gabriel. Flacco's gone.
Oh,
He's
shit.
with the
That's
Bengals.
right. That's right. Damn it. We missed that. Yeah, I got Flacco today. Why did I see that? I saw that like 2 weeks ago. Now my head's all screwed up.
All right, let's get
back to Penn State.
Reality here.
What do you think actually happens? Like, his buyout's huge. It's like $50+ million.
I got to think that I'm going to be shocked, like totally shocked and flabbergasted, if the offensive coordinator isn't at least canned this week.
I mean, that's always the excuse, though. How many offensive coordinators has he went through? Like
He's
6?
gone through like four or five since Joe Moorhead. Like Moorhead, when he was here, was the last really good offensive coordinator we've had.
Yeah,
and then we were scoring points. Now he's gone. We go to like Mike Yurcich.
That was like a year or two.
Yeah, whoever the hell we had last year.
Kotelnicki was last year.
Yeah, but who was before him?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Ricky Ronnie, I think, was in there.
Ricky Ronnie, yeah. And there were a couple before Moorhead that were terrible, too. Like, there's always some sort of excuse.
And there's one consistency with it, and it's your head coach. I've never liked Franklin as a head coach. I've always thought, all right, like he's gotten us over the hump to get us to at least a contending team. Like going 10-2, 9-3 is not the worst. Like a lot of schools would take it, sure. But now we're at the point where we realize he can't get us over the hump. We can't win a national title. Probably can't win a Big Ten title again with him.
No.
We're at that stage.
No, and I will say, I did think the national title hype around this team was a little odd. Like, the defense was bringing a lot of guys back, but like lost Abdul Carter, lost who was the safety or the cornerback that we lost last year too?
Well, we lost Abdul Carter, we lost Kobe King in the middle.
Maybe I was thinking of King.
Yeah, he was a stud middle linebacker.
Yeah. I thought there was someone in the second there too. But either way. But then like I kind of always came back to like there's no downfield passing game. It's like, yeah, you can have the best 2 running backs in the world, but there is no threat to go deep. And I was like, so I did think like that, you know, national title, like kind of aspirations were a little kind of crazy this year, but like they should have been easily in the playoffs.
Oh yeah. No, this team should have had a floor of 10-2.
Yeah. And turns out maybe Oregon is not as good as we thought Oregon was either. So like that game was in hindsight more winnable. I mean, you just played terrible for 3 quarters, but I don't know. I don't know what it seems like firing him just isn't going to be an actual possibility.
I can't see them doing it mid-season strictly because of how much they have to pay him. Now, I would imagine that Penn State, knowing all the money they have and can get from boosters, alumni, yada, yada, I don't think $56 million is all that far-fetched for them to do.
I mean, they're dumping, $700 million into the stadium over the next 2 years?
Signed the $300 or $500 million deal with Adidas. I think if they really, really wanted to make it work, they could. I don't think Pat Kraft and the board will do it strictly because I don't think they want to shell out $56 million. But I think the last 2 games we've seen that he's kind of lost the locker room. He's definitely lost the fan base. Like no one was at that game yesterday. And the people that were there, Nate Bennett was chanting "Fire Franklin." Good on him. I don't see a way back for him, and it would be so ironic that we go ahead and we lose to Iowa next week because it's given. But then I could see him just somehow rallying this team to go into the shoe and win.
I mean, at this point, though, like,
no. But there's no way. But that would be so James Franklin.
Worst case scenario is they win out.
It'd be terrible. We cannot go 9-3. I think there's a much, much better chance that this team goes 3-9 than making a bowl game at 6-6.
Wow.
Like I don't see them beating at Iowa with a backup quarterback now.
Yeah, that's the whole next thing is now there's going to be the excuse if this turns into a real bad season. Well, Aller went down. It's like, okay, so Aller gets you what, maybe 2 more games? Like they weren't going into the shoe and beating Ohio State.
No, Indiana.
And I don't know that they're going to beat Indiana.
After seeing what Indiana did to Oregon yesterday, I don't think there's any chance they do.
So, like, best case scenario with them, they'd be what, 7-5?
Yeah, and I think again,
So,
I
like,
think that's stretching it.
if
I really
there's
do.
starts to be this excuse that, like, oh, but Aller went down, it's like, well, tough, get over it. But, like, Aller wasn't playing great anyway. I mean, God, his stock has dropped. I mean, he was a top 15, top 20 pick last year if he comes out?
I think he was a projected first rounder if he just went to the NFL last year, which obviously hindsight's 2020. I wish for him that he did. You know, as much as we rag on him because he can't hit an open receiver, you never want to see a guy end his career on an injury like that. So that sucks for him. But I mean,
Bo Perbula is out at Missouri, well, until yesterday, just slinging it all over. But
that's my new team for the rest of this year's Missouri. But I do think that the coaching staff totally failed Aller for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think they did enough to surround him with talent. The wide receivers obviously can never get open. The wide receiver coach can't get out the door fast enough. He stinks. Franklin stinks. I don't understand everyone saying that he's been a great coach. He does great in recruiting, yada, yada, yada. They've had 3 top 10 classes, I think, since he's been here. And it's 8th, 7th, and 6th. Like, consistently, they're 12 to 15. That's just what they are. Like, he's a good recruiter. He gets kids there. It's probably hard to draw kids to the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. But everyone that saw it there says that he's such an awesome, outstanding recruiter. I don't see it. Like, I think most coaches could get a top 15 class, especially with this day and age when you can pay everybody.
Yeah, and there's money at Penn
most
State.
Most coaches could get that. Right. Like, Penn State has enough money and deep enough pockets that...
Like, Penn State, I've read some stuff. They're putting $20 million-ish into NIL each year. Like, that's around what all the other top programs are doing.
I got to think that's probably only going to go up. I mean, now that your school itself can actually pay the players, you don't have to rely on boosters and the NIL. Your actual college can pay it. You just sign that giant deal with Adidas. Like, I don't see any way that they can keep him past this year. I think if he's the coach in 2026, they have failed the entire fan base. Yeah,
it doesn't seem like even the people that you would used to hear from, they'd be like, "Oh no, he's a good recruiter. Oh no, it's tough to beat Ohio State and Michigan. Oh no," like even those guys they're not defending him much anymore. And it's hard to defend him. Like his thing was always like, "Hey, at least we beat the bad teams," and like it's tough to beat Ohio State and Michigan, which he never did. But like you got to win a couple of them. But like now you're losing to UCLA and Northwestern. Like now you've lost like the only piece of goodwill you have. And I heard this was, I think, said after the Oregon game. It's the guy on the macro dosing podcast for Barstool. It's the big dude who's the Tennessee fan.
Yeah, yep.
And he's like, they're not going to fire him. But he's like, I would imagine they start to make life difficult. Where like they just don't give him what he wants. And they kind of make it known like, hey, we're not going to fire you because we don't want to pay the $56 million. But we'd prefer if you leave.
Yeah. Well, they got to at least like tell him, hey, maybe you want to go shop around for a job.
Yeah, someone needs to have a conversation with him and be like, you know what? Maybe it's better for everybody if you just move on. And then we go and assess things elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel like it's going to be a fun time for him either. If he just hangs around and keeps putting together, 9-3, 8-4, 10-2 seasons. And the Big Ten has gotten tougher. Like that's part of the other thing that like I think he was kind of working with before was like, yeah, you have Ohio State and Michigan that you got to play every year. But now you got Ohio State. You still got Michigan. You got Oregon. Indiana's on the come up. USC's still out there. Like, there's a little less place to run and hide. You struggle to win at Iowa. Like, what do you do?
You're kind of getting to the point now where you go from, okay, we're third in the conference. Maybe we beat Michigan here and there. We never beat Ohio State, but it's like now we're kind of like the 5th or 6th team in the Big Ten is where Penn State's at now. Yeah. And it's sucks. And again, I'm looking at his career record here at Penn State. He's 104-45. Which, okay, that's not bad. There you go, 6-6 year one. Not good. 7-5 year two.
Year one was 2014, right?
Right. Yep.
Okay, I want to put this out there because some people are like, "Oh, no one had any problem with Franklin all those other years." I went and looked at I searched on my my Twitter time feed. I just typed in "Fire Franklin," see when the first time I tweeted that. September 5th of 2015.
So
I was on it early.
Year two. Well, again, it goes back to, I know he had, sanctions and everything to deal with. Bill O'Brien did a far better job, in my opinion, with way less than what Franklin had.
Yep.
O'Brien had a bunch of fighters on his team going 8-4, things like that. And then, they lose the Rose Bowl in 2016, which this brings me to my second point. So if he goes 6-6 year one and 7-5 year two, it's not great. And then they get off to a very bad start in 2016.
They lost that game to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they got beat by Pitt. They got pummeled by Michigan. And then all of a sudden, the Ohio State blocked kick happens and they go on a run.
One blocked kick.
If the blocked field goal doesn't happen, does he see the end of that year?
Probably the end of the year, but not much. Probably doesn't come back.
Like he has just been hanging on to the coattails of Marcus Allen and Grant Haley blocking that kick. And then, of course, having Trace McSorley, Saquon Barkley, Chris Godwin, like that team was, come to find out, pretty loaded.
Mm-hmm.
But take away that blocked kick, they lose that game. They probably lose another couple more the rest of the season and then go 7-5, 6-6.
Well, what? They barely got by Minnesota that year.
Yeah, they beat Minnesota the week before in overtime. So it gets to that where it's like, man, if that kick doesn't happen, the last 8 or 9 years could look way different.
Yeah.
Could be a lot worse, could be better. Never know. But I don't think he makes it another year past that if that never happens.
Yeah, so that block kick changed his whole trajectory.
Oh, yeah. It's great. Never want to take away them winning the Big Ten championship, but shit, if that doesn't happen, we're not sitting here in 2025 talking about how he needs fired. He's probably already gone.
It also took a miracle for Michigan. For Ohio, was it Ohio State beat Michigan in the last game that year on like a fourth down QB sneak?
Yeah, that still doesn't look like he got it.
Yeah, I remember we were. I think you were there. We played the Towanda alumni basketball game, and Noah Wheeler had it on his phone, and we were all huddled around, how can they do it?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah,
it took the most crazy confluence of events throughout that entire year for that all to happen anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And then he comes back in 2017, returns basically the whole team, and they blow the Ohio State game after being up, 13 in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And then the next week, Ohio State loses, and it's all roads back to Indianapolis, just win out against bum teams. They'd already beat Michigan that year, and they lose a stinker to Michigan State. Mm-hmm. It was like a lightning delay, and the team lost complete focus coming out of the lightning delay.
Yeah, and it sucks too because all these crucial losses are all following a bye week.
Yeah,
he's got a 4-6 now record off of byes, something like that. When you should come out of the bye week and just should be no doubt. All right, we got a great game plan. We're the better team. We should just beat the shit out of this team.
Rest it up.
Consistently, he fails to do it. And again, never take away the Oregon loss is what it is. They're a solid football team. You lose in double overtime after fighting back, but the last two losses are the two just inexcusable. Any other head coach in the country, I think, probably would have been fired by now. I really do.
Yeah, you
can't imagine if. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you can't pair never winning the big game and then losing as a 20-point favorite.
No.
You can get away with one of those every once in a while. It's college football. Shit's going to happen. But you can't consistently lose every big game. He's not even good against the top 25. I got to find that stat.
4-21, something like that.
Is it that bad?
somewhere around there. I was doing some digging myself this morning. They're 4-4 in their last 8 games, which just dates back to the playoff. They have not beat a Power 4 program, and SMU is considered a Power 4 program. They have not beat a Power 4 program since SMU,
and that shouldn't even count.
right? Like maybe it was SMU's first year in the ACC. I think so. Good win, sure, whatever, but.
Yeah, Franklin is
the week before that.
Yeah, Franklin's 4-21 against top 10 teams.
10,
but against the top 25, he's only 12-26.
It's not good. It's not good.
So against teams 10 to 25, he's 8-5. Like, you got to be better than that too. Like, if you're gonna be like, oh hey, Michigan and Ohio State get the best of us. But, like, no, everybody gets the best of you.
Mm-hmm.
You're 0-5 against the rest of the top 10.
I can't deal with his press conferences anymore of, yep, I understand it, I get it, it's on me, because it's the same thing every single week, and nothing changes.
Yeah.
God bless Liam Clifford. I'm sure he's a great dude. He should never see meaningful snaps in a football game at the wide receiver position. Like, you have way too much talent beyond him to put him out there.
Yeah, the thing you said about the press conference, it's like, yeah, I get it, it's on me. Yeah, that works great, like, the first couple times you lose. Like, something has to change. Like, if you're him, you got to be like, what I'm doing is not working. Like, some sort of, like, self-recognition that, like, hey, we're not doing something right. Like, other teams have figured out how to do things, and we can't.
I mean, Indiana, I think Kurt Cignetti's probably the best coach in football right now.
And hard to argue that.
Like, I think there was a stats where he doesn't have recruits right now. It's his second year. So I think they have 3 or 4 4-star players, 0 5-star, and not that many 3-star guys. And
he wins. Just Google him.
6-0. So he does win. Just Google it. 6 or 7-0. They just won at Oregon last night. I think he has as many top 5 wins or something like that as Franklin does now. It's his second year at Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
it's incredible. The other thing I saw was that some Notre Dame fan compared what Penn State's going through to them,
mm-hmm.
and they're like, yeah, everyone's like, oh yeah, you don't want to get rid of Brian Kelly. Like, look, it can always get worse, and he's like, yeah, it can, or you can get Marcus Freeman and you can get better. And it's like, hey, I know Notre Dame's not having their greatest year, but they've lost by a combined 5 points in the 2 losses they had against 2 pretty damn good teams. It's
2 teams in the top 5.
But Notre Dame gets it done other times. Like, they got to the national championship. Like, they win games with Marcus Freeman. Like, they've won big games. It's like, yeah, you think you're in a spot where Brian Kelly is the top of the class for you, and that oh, if you get rid of him, it gets worse. It's like, yeah, it might, but it can also get better. That's the argument I just hate hearing. It's like, well, it could be worse if we didn't have Franklin. It's like, okay, try it, because we've plateaued here. It's not getting better. There's no next level with Franklin. It's like, me as a fan, I'm willing to risk trying to get better. And hey, maybe you do get a little worse. And you know what? So be it. But we've reached a point where I'm not interested in this shit anymore.
No, I was talking to Zach about that this morning. It's like, you go ahead and fire him right now. Okay, you're 3-3 already. You've got really not a ton to play for the rest of this year. And it's like, well, what happens when all these kids start just decommitting? All your recruits start decommitting. That's a chance you got to take, because if they decommit, just like Indiana's doing, you can go ahead and just throw a bunch of money in the transfer portal. Go bring in a top-end quarterback. Go bring in stud wide receivers. Just go spend money to get kids to come play for you, because that's the era that we're in now.
Yeah, the excuse that oh, well, what happens if all our guys decommit? It's like, okay, go get other guys then. They're out there.
You can go spend a ton of money on it and build a roster, build a program strictly from the transfer portal if you really wanted to. And you still got to recruit well, sure, but if you have one bad year next year in recruiting, you can cover that up pretty well with spending a ton of money on guys in the portal.
Yep. Yeah, I think we're going to find out by the end of this year where the administration at Penn State feels like they should be doing. Like if they're just okay bringing in money and finishing third in the Big Ten, then he's around. And if they're all right, Boomer, chill. Boomer's had enough of James Franklin too. And if they're okay with, like I said, being third or fourth in the Big Ten and bringing in a bunch of money and hoping the stadium's mostly full and going that route and, sneaking into the playoff every couple of years and getting bounced in the first round, then he stays. If they actually want to win and try and win Big Ten titles and try and compete for a national title, then they get rid of him. Also, by the way, the playoff run last year, it was Boise State and SMU.
Right.
They got blessed with the greatest draw possible. They didn't have Tennessee, Oklahoma, or Ohio State, or Notre Dame early, or any of that. They got the best possible draw to get to the semis.
And it's still you get Notre Dame. I'm not saying Notre Dame was bad last year. They're a great program, great team. You still had every chance in the world to beat them to make the national championship.
Yeah, and that was the best possible option, was to have Notre Dame in the semi too. Everything broke right, and they if everything breaks right like that, you got to make the title game.
Yeah. Do you think he gets fired this year?
No,
during
I don't.
The season? Do you think it lasts at the end?
I don't think he gets fired at all. I think he is back on the sideline next year.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the scariest thing in the world as a Penn State fan.
I don't know. Maybe at some point in this offseason, they get him to go looking around and Florida or somebody wants to hire him. But I think the most likely outcome is he is coaching in 2026 at Penn State.
It's a scary, scary thought. And unfortunately, I think my gut tells me you're probably right.
I can't tell you how much I want to be wrong. But I don't know. I just don't feel like they're going to do anything.
No, I can't see it.
And the other odd thing is too, it's I'm going to contradict myself and be like, and saying this, but it's who do they go get?
I mean, you're going to have to entice someone to leave a program they're already at.
Yeah.
Everyone says they want Cignetti.
Not happening.
I don't think he wants to leave Indiana.
No, I think he kind of likes I'm the underdog. Fuck you. I'm going to go do this. Just his career path tells you that. He's hey, these guys never believed in me anywhere. I was at JMU and, Division II before this. I'm going to do something at Indiana.
Jesus, he might win the national title this year with them.
It doesn't look. It's not possible.
It looks pretty damn possible. Then there's another name floating around for Matt Rule from Nebraska.
I don't like that.
I don't like that one either.
And it would fit the whole. He's a Penn State alum and all this. I think he kind of caught lightning in a bottle for a while when he was at
Baylor. There,
Baylor. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, which I think they're 5-1 this year, Nebraska. So he's got them in the right direction. I don't think he's the guy. The guy I want, it would never happen. It will never happen. So listen, I know it won't happen, but I would fight people for Lane Kiffin.
I would love Lane Kiffin. I love Lane Kiffin.
It will never happen. I am the biggest Lane Kiffin fan, but it will never happen.
It would be awesome. Slano was just texting us yesterday that he wants Lane Kiffin at Florida. I'm like, that's not happening either. But
no, I don't think he's going anywhere.
I think he loves Ole Miss. Yeah.
Yeah, he's such a good coach. And then everyone's like, "Oh, what about Urban Meyer?" And you guys are never getting Urban Meyer.
No, Urban's not
never getting Nick Saban. They're done.
Yeah,
they're done.
They're getting paid a lot of money just to sit on the sidelines on Saturday and talk about it.
Yeah. I think we've got some semi-dark times ahead as Penn State fans. I do.
Yeah, they'll be every once in a while. I'm just not getting wrapped into it again. I'm not getting made to believe.
Oh,
I need. Well, I said this about the Ryder Cup. I'm like, when I get amped up about the Ryder Cup in 2 years, someone just tell me you're a fucking idiot. And the next time I get amped up about oh, this Penn State could do it, just tell me I'm an idiot and be like, don't do it. Think back to today. Think back to the day after the Northwestern game. And just
this
remember,
conversation right here.
Remember you and I talking. So, like, for the Ryder Cup, it's think back to Saturday afternoon. Don't remember Sunday and the comeback. Like, so I can't remember, like, if Penn State reels off 6 wins at the end of the year. Like, don't remember that. Remember right now before I get amped up again. Because it's not worth it.
Oh, no. It's consistently the program that draws you in and then just rips your heart out. So I'm with you. I'm not getting drawn in anymore until we see some significant changes.
Yep, I agree.
So I appreciate you letting me rant.
You got it, buddy. It was therapeutic.
Mm-hmm. It's out there now. We're good.
It's out there. We got it out. We're done. We're done with this bullshit, Nick.
Yep. We're gonna just go on. I'm not a Packers fan, but I'll cheer for the Packers now for you.
Well, if you're looking for a team that likes to rip your heart out after giving you a lot of hope, you've transitioned to the right one.
Nah, the Steelers do a good enough job of that. Well, I don't get my hopes up with them. I know what they are.
I don't think they're giving you too much hope. They'll sneak into the playoffs, but
this has Tomlin special written all over it, getting us to 9-8 by the end of the year.
Man, if he gets to 9-8 at the end of the year, after the way the division has just crumpled around him, if he doesn't win the division with like 11 wins, that's a bad job.
They won't fire him because he's 9-8.
Hey, Tomlin is Franklin. Franklin is Tomlin.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. It really is.
They're the same coach too.
They are. Yep. They're a player's coach. People like playing for them.
Yeah.
That's great.
Cool. You know what coaches never get called players coaches? Coaches that fucking win.
Yeah. There's a reason for that.
No one ever called Nick Saban a players coach. No one ever called Urban Meyer a players coach. Like,
it's because those guys like to tell it how it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to chew some ass to make some money, win some games.
You sure do. Well, man, I appreciate you. Anything? Any last thoughts to leave us on here?
No, I've got nothing. Like I said, I'm checked out for the year.
You're Missouri. A broken man.
Yep, Missouri's going to run the table. Get it to I think 11-1. They run the table 11-1. Bo Perbula. That's all I got for you.
That gets them in. Well, all right, man. Well, enjoy your Sunday. Get the red zone on and watch some fun football.
I will. You as well. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
Later.
Well, Nick, you're back quicker than expected here. It happened. It happened. After we just said we didn't think it was going to happen. We had to reconvene. And James Franklin is out. Penn State pulled the trigger. And holy shit. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that they did it this quick. I'm not surprised it happened. I'm just shocked that it was done as quickly as Pat Kraft and the board wanted to do it. I didn't anticipate it being during the season, but now that it's during the season, they kind of get their pick of the litter. They can go out and start talking to whoever they want and, kind of get first dibs on the first big-time head coaching job for this year.
Yeah, I think it was better to do it now than to wait to the end of the season because now it's out there. It's going to help. I don't know the exacts of Franklin's buyout. I know it was $49 million, but usually those are set up so that when they take another job, that lessens. Mm-hmm. So it's good that he's out there right now because he's probably getting another job. There's a lot of big openings this year, so that'll help the buyout number as well. And then it gets you out there and you can be like, okay, here's who we're looking at. We have, they're probably going to want somebody in place by, January, February at the latest, but it allows them to get out there and get going on it. Quick odds board I saw here. Number one candidate plus 200 odds is Matt Rule. And I want to get out ahead of this. No, just no. That's not the answer. Matt Rule is as bad against the top 10 and top 25 as James Franklin is.
He might actually be worse.
I think it is. I think he's like 2-14. Yeah, 0-14 against the top 10, like 2-21 against the top 25. So yeah, I just want to get out ahead. That's not the one.
No, but that's the scariest one too, is because I guess there's a pretty tight connection with Pat Kraft and Matt Rule dating back to Temple.
Yep.
So I keep seeing like every Nebraska fan on Twitter saying, "Just throw the bag at him, pay the guy," and Penn State fans are just like, "Yeah, please do." Like we don't want him.
It feels like that's what's going to happen. I'm hoping it doesn't, but that's what it feels like. Running down the rest of this odds board, I saw Bill O'Brien in second place, Kurt Signetti in third, Manny Diaz, Urban Meyer, not happening, Lane Kiffin, Joe Brady, and Will Stein. So I guess the question is, what's your dream candidate? Let's just say that. Just take out the plausibility of what is possible and what, could really go on. But who's your dream candidate?
If I had to have one guy come coach Penn State, and again, it won't happen, but it would be Lane Kiffin. Like I think he would be. I think he's one of the best coaches in college football. I don't think he fits, Penn State all that well. But God, could I think he recruit a ton of talent there. And he's the type of coach that I like, that's like fiery, shows some passion, enthusiasm, things like that. Like I think it would be a home run hire for Penn State, but I don't see them ever going that way. I don't think he'd ever leave Ole Miss.
No, it seems like he's likes Ole Miss. I would love that too. I don't think Kurt Signetti's going to happen. Maybe. I mean, I think he's got, didn't he start somewhere, his early coaching career in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, D2 or D3 even, and then I think he ended up at James Madison and then to Indiana. But I agree with you. I don't think he leaves Indiana.
Yeah, he's a Pittsburgh. He was born in Pittsburgh, coached at IUP. I don't see it happening. But you never know. I mean, money is an alluring thing. I mean, I think Indiana's going to try and. I mean, he's got a huge buyout too that they'd have to figure out how to handle that to get him out of that deal. So, I mean, when you pony up $50 million to get rid of one coach, it's tough to pony up another 50 to go get another guy. This guy's name is on all these lists, and I don't know exactly where I stand on it right now, but it's like growing in my mind is Joe Brady.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like down the line on a lot of these lists, but like a lot of the guys out ahead of him, like I don't want Rule. I don't think they're going to go out Bill O'Brien. I don't think Kurt Signetti's going to happen. Manny Diaz is a maybe. Again, that's got like the Penn State, tie there. Urban Meyer's not happening. I don't think Lane Kiffin's happens. But then all of a sudden we're at Joe Brady, and it's like, maybe that's an answer. I mean, I'm pulling him up right now. I don't know what his college, passing game coordinator at LSU, but he spent a lot of his time, and he has a grad assistant job at Penn State too. But I mean, a lot of his time has been in the NFL. But I don't know, that one seems enticing. That seems like a guy you could go get.
Yeah, I think that's a semi-realistic option. I don't know if he'd want to go from, being the Bills offensive, passing game guy to coaching college football or not, but I think it would be a significant pay upgrade for him.
Well, he's the OC for the Bills now.
He's the OC for the Bills now. Okay, so I think it'd be a huge pay upgrade for him. But shit, would it be? Well, I don't know, a lot more on his plate, maybe having to go travel, recruit, talk to high school kids all the time, do everything of that nature that you don't really have to do in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, so he's been coach, and he's a young guy too. That's like he's 36, but he started coaching in 2013. He spent 2 years at William and Mary, 2 years at Penn State, then was with the Saints for a couple years, then a year at LSU, so 5 years. So since 2013, he's only been in the college game 5 years, but in the NFL more. Like, is he a guy who's an NFL guy? Like, there are just certain guys that are. Their shit works in the NFL and it doesn't work in college, and vice versa. Like their stuff works in college and it doesn't work in the NFL. Kind of got to wonder. I mean, same token, like that was Bill O'Brien's thing. Was he was always an NFL guy, and then all of a sudden it really worked for that couple years at Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, I see the connections, right? Joe Brady with Pagulia, how you say it, whatever, owning the Bills, being a huge Penn State donor for the hockey team. Like, there's connections there that if they want to go throw the bag at him and get him to come coach, they probably could. I think he's also on record saying that he doesn't want to coach college football or doesn't have any interest in doing it. I think it'd be an awesome hire. I mean, the 1 year that he spent at LSU, he had Joe Burrow doing some Joe Burrow things. So he definitely knows offense. He knows how to get creative. And I think that's kind of what I want in a Penn State coach, is an offensive-minded guy. We've had pretty solid defenses for the last 15 years that I don't think you have to worry as much about defense, but our offense has just been so pathetic the last 8 or 9 years that you kind of want someone with an offensive mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you look around and it's like, what are the... And I'm not trying to backtrack on that Franklin had to go, because Franklin had to go. The team had reached a plateau. I applaud them for having some balls to do something I never thought they'd do. And you have to think, if they were going to do this and the speed at which they did it, they had to have somebody in mind. And that just leads me back to Matt Rule every time, which is what scares me.
I 100% agree. I don't think they make this big of a decision at this juncture in the season without having a very small list of candidates that they're going to go after.
I mean, is there anybody out there that we're not thinking of? Like, and every person that says Nick Saban should just stop talking. And I'm telling you the truth, I don't know that, and this isn't a knock on Nick Saban, with all the success he's had in his career, like, he's an older guy, like, it's never easy to just go back and dial it back up after you've come out. Like, and Saban kind of made a lot of remarks on his way out. He's like, hey, about not liking the way, like, the college game had transitioned with NIL and all that stuff. Like, it's probably best just leave Saban be anyway, even if, like, you could find a way to entice him to do it. Like, I don't know that that's the right answer either. I mean, now, if they signed Saban, I'd be still kind of pumped. Like, but deep down, I'd have, like, this worry in my gut that, like, hey, this isn't the right thing to do here.
Yeah, I agree. Anyone that says Nick Saban is just, I want what they're on currently, because it's never going to happen. The one name I've been seeing floating around there is the guy down at Texas A&M, Mike Elko.
Yep.
I don't think he'd leave Texas A&M for Penn State, but you never know. Never know.
Texas A&M has a big bank account behind them too. Like, I'm sure they can goose a contract here and get him to, lock up. But yeah, let's pull up him. I mean, he was at Duke for a while there, right?
He was at Duke for a while. Yep. The other one, and again, this like trends to the Nick Saban thing, where I think anyone saying this is just totally pathetically wrong. I've seen Marcus Freeman floated around on social media for the last couple hours. That's not happening. And it's never going to happen. You'll never pull him from Notre Dame. Like, that's a pipe dream. You could give him $50 million a year, and he's probably still not going to do it.
Yeah, Notre Dame is a great gig. Their schedule, the way it sets up with the ACC, they're going to go out and play a couple of big games every year, and their name brand is enough that even, like, this year is a perfect example. Now, they lost 2 games to 2 very good teams, very close. If they go out and run the table the rest of the way, they're in the playoffs, and that's like every year for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the name brand is enough that, hey, just don't get killed in the games you lose, and don't lose to bad teams, and you're going to make the playoffs, like, with 2 losses almost every year, it feels like.
Yeah, I think, in the day and age of college football now, it's like if you lose early in the season, it's always better than losing late. So They get their 2 losses the first 2 weeks. If they run the table, win 10 straight, there's a good chance they end up in the top 7 or 8 and host. Like, they're going to host a playoff game, not just get in.
Yep.
They're 13th or something in the country now after this past weekend, and you get to host USC this weekend, so go ahead and knock that one. You win that game, that's a ranked win.
Yep.
Things like that. Like, no one's going to pull Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame.
No. By the way, Mike Elko is 48. He looks about 60.
Yeah, he does.
When I first saw him, like, when I said that, like, when you said Mike Elko, I was like, I don't know if we want someone that old. And then, like, he's only 48. And I was like, what? How?
Yeah, I don't think they could land him. I think the pockets at Texas A&M are deeper than what Penn State has.
Yeah, and they're on a nice little run so far this year.
I mean, they're top 5 in the country right now. Like, he's building something there. I don't see that one happening. Is Manny Diaz a guy that feels like a real strong possibility too? I think that's probably in the top 3 of candidates of who they land. defensive-minded head coach, which Penn State loves. He's been there, like he was just there a couple of years ago. He's been a head coach before. I think that there's a pretty legit chance that that's their guy they go get.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, as a Penn State fan, I don't hate it. I don't love it.
Yeah, that's kind of the catch that I'm stuck in right now is that I don't hate Matt Rule. I don't like it, but like it feels like there's going to be a lot of like coaches can be like, I don't hate it, but it's like not going to like really fire me up.
Mm-hmm. Which there's only probably a handful of coaches that you would say, oh shit, like this is awesome. Like this guy's got me jacked up for next year now. And I think, 2 or 3 of those are just total pipe dreams for us that we'll never get.
Yep. So if you had to make a guess right now, well, there's really not much we can say. The only other thing, we saw the thing floating around with the Adidas was maybe behind paying for the buyout. I've seen multiple people say that on Twitter. I've also seen multiple people say that's not true on Twitter. I don't know what to believe. Everybody on Twitter has a blue check mark now, so like nobody knows who's actually knows anything. So like maybe, I mean that sponsorship doesn't even start till 2026 though. So like who knows what kind of influence that is? It seems kind of funny, but at the same time, maybe they did go to him and be like, "Hey, you want to goose this up a little bit for us and toss us a few extra bucks?" But yeah, so we won't. I'm sure there'll be more that will come out. It also makes me think that something else was going on behind the scenes. Like maybe there was a disagreement on vision between Pat Kraft and Franklin that got him to this point so quickly. And also, it's not so quickly. Like I saw a lot of this on Twitter too. Like, wow, I can't believe they fired Franklin. He just went to the Final Four. Like, and we talked about all this just a second ago. Like, yeah, he did, but he got blessed to do it, and he got blessed to win his Big Ten title and all this stuff, and then could never win the big game. And like, it felt like there was a big referendum on that Oregon game, and then like he had kind of been on like the quiet hot seat for a couple years, and last year kind of helped stem that off. But then you lose another big game, then you start losing games. It does make me feel like something else behind the scenes too has maybe been happening. That like. Nothing like terrible, but like just like, hey, we see things a different way.
Yeah, I mean, give credit to the guy. Like he took Penn State football from the bottom of the bottoms after the sanctions and everything, and he brought him back to national relevancy. So for that, I think as fans, we all love him. But it seems like we've kind of been stuck in neutral for the last 4 or 5 years, and we just can't get over the hump. And then you get to last year, and you finally make the playoff. You run it to the semifinals, and then lose a game to Notre Dame that you should probably win. Then it rolls into this year. You lose to Oregon when everything's in your favor. And then you drop the 2 games after that to teams that, as Penn State football, you should never lose to.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying it can't happen, but you shouldn't.
Yeah, and back to back.
And then you get to his press conference on Saturday, and he gets straight up asked, like James, do you want to be the head coach at Penn State still? And he kind of dodges the question. Like, he doesn't say yes, doesn't give a great answer to it. So, in my mind, you could almost somewhat tell that he was a little bit checked out of it now.
Yeah, and I think probably, like, honestly, it's the best scenario for him, too. Like, if he goes to a Florida or, Texas or Oklahoma State, or any of these places that, like, just need kind of a little revitalization, like, I think it's going to work out for him. And I think it's going to be like best for all parties involved. Now, that said, it can very easily in the next couple of years, Penn State could be like 7-5, 8-4. Like that's the risk. And that's what I always said. You got to have fucking big balls to make this move. But I mean, I'd rather go for it and whiff than just sit there and just keep taking it. So.
Yeah, it's like we've already seen it on Twitter all day today that every 2027 commit that Penn State has decommitted, and you've lost. I think their top 4 or top 5 recruits for 2027 have all backed out already. So, comes with the territory when you fire your coach. Like you're going to lose guys. You're going to transfer dudes, but if you go land the right guy, you're going to get the commits that he had from his school. You're going to get a bunch of guys that want to hit the transfer portal and come play. It's just. It's going to be a tough couple probably tough couple months for Penn State. So
and next year could be tough. Like let's get out ahead of that. Like next year could be rough. Like there's no guarantee that next year it works all of a sudden. Like it could be for 2-3 years.
Yeah, so the best thing for them next year is whoever comes and coaches has one of the easier schedules. Like their toughest game next year is at Michigan.
Yeah, it's a great setup for a first-year coach. Like they play like 8 home games. There's no big name in the first 3 games like usual. Only to Michigan, who doesn't look to be like the Michigan of like 2-3 years ago. So like that game seems winnable too. I mean, granted, you never know who pops up on the schedule and all of a sudden is hot, but like, yeah, it sets up well. All right, so sitting here in October, who is your guess who the coach is starting next year?
If I had to guess and probably put some money on it, and I probably will, my guess is it's going to be Manny Diaz.
Okay.
I think that's like he's at Duke. Not saying Duke's a good program, not a bad program, but I mean, obviously Penn State's going to be a step up from Duke. He was just here 2 or 3 years ago. Awesome defenses when he was here. Been a head coach. I think that's the one that makes the most sense. It's honestly, between Manny Diaz and Matt Rule, that's the one I'm hoping for is Manny Diaz. So that would be my prediction for, and I think that's probably announced before January 1st.
Yeah, they won't. Is Duke in line? Where are they at? What's Duke record?
They were like 3-3 or 4-2. I thought
they're 4-2. They're 3-0 in the conference, so they could still make the conference title game.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be early December.
Yeah,
and then they'll end up in a bowl. They won't make the playoffs, so like you don't have to worry about all that. So yeah, they could announce him before Christmas, and he's working the transfer portal. Yeah, I think it's him or Rule. I would lean towards Rule a little bit. That said, I don't love either of those. I would like to see him get a little more creative than that, but we'll see, man. We'll see. So we just did another 20 minutes here that completely pretty much erased the time we did before. I'm going to leave it all in so you can see our progression here, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. So
buckle up.
Buckle up is right. Well, all right, man. Thanks for swinging back in to recap here again. I don't think we had any. You can tell by what we were saying, we didn't have any expectation that this was going to happen. So I appreciate you coming back and wrapping this up with me.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me back on.
All right, man. Well, take her easy, and we'll probably talk again when we get a head coach announced here. So,
all right. Catch you later.
See ya. Okay, NFL time. We do have 2 Monday night games here tonight. We got Bills, Falcons, Bears, Commanders. I did see a crazy thing about the Bears, Commanders. This is the first time in over 13 years that the Bears and Commanders, when playing each other, are going to have the same 2 quarterbacks and same quarterback for each team. Just wild. Bills, Falcons. That one could get a little interesting. I don't know. We'll see. But 2 Monday night games. I'm not going to stay up and do it after. I've got a Packers. I don't know if you know when the next time I will even. 2 next week. Bucks, Lions. That one's the early one. I might do something for that. Commanders, Chiefs, probably not. Cards, Cowboys, probably not. Packers, Eagles on November 10th. Obviously, I will. So we'll see. There may be a Monday night addendum here eventually. But let's get into the Packers. Joe Flacco comes back to town with the Bengals, and the Packers get another win. It was I wrote at one point, breakout game, ? For Matthew Golden, and then he kind of disappeared and had a big catch late in the game, but he had 2 really nice plays to start, 2 nice catches to start. I think they actually got him a couple end arounds, and he peeled off a nice one there. But it did feel good to see him get some more touches, 5 touches all in all for him. But the day was Josh Jacobs. 5 catches for 57 yards, 18 catches for 93 yards, or 18 carries for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns. He carried the day for us. That was a good day for him. But the story of this game is that this felt like a game the Packers should have run away with. And the further on in the season we get, the more week one looks like an anomaly for this team. And the rest of the season looks like the norm. Sorry, it looks like I feel like I've got allergies or something. My eyes are all like dry. But like, I don't know, man. It felt like this should have been better. I mean, there was a point in the first quarter, as the first quarter came to a close, I saw this picture floating around. With 40 seconds left in the first quarter, the Packers had gained 114 total yards. The Bengals had gained 1. It was 0-0. Jordan Love threw a pretty bad interception on the first drive. And other than that, he played well. Like, I've got some stats on Jordan Love here coming later. But like that, like just the little things with this team, they just don't do the little things right. I don't know if maybe he was trying to force it because they didn't have McManus to kick, so they had a backup kicker in there. Havrisik maybe, who was actually fine. He made the field goals. He made all the extra points. Like, it was good. But again, this just felt like a game that should have been put away. It's 10-0 at halftime. The Packers are the only team in the NFL to have held a 10-point lead in every game they've played. And yet here we go. It's the third quarter and it's 10-7 all of a sudden. It's like, can we just put a team away? Can we just put a team away? And then they do kind of extend it in the fourth quarter. They get the Josh Jacobs rushing touchdown early. Tucker Kraft diving in from the 4-yard line I saw was where he took off from to get that touchdown. And then with about 7:30 left in the fourth quarter, they're up 24-10. But alas, they give up another score. And now they've got the ball and they've got to go put this game out of reach. And they get the 2-point conversion. And now we've got a game again. And they get the field goal and hold them off. But it's like, it didn't have to be this way. Like, if you just look at the stats, like down the total stats for the team, 409 total yards to 268. Outthrew him by 40 yards. Outrushed him by almost 100. More yards per play. They dominated time of possession early. The Bengals made that up late. Again, 5 penalties, an interception. They didn't force the turnover. It feels like I would just like them to just beat a team and just run away with it. And it's not happening here. That said, 3-1-1. Atop the division with the Lions loss last night. It could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse, but it feels like it could be better. Like, it feels like we're close with this team, but they're just not able to push it over the edge. So I don't know, man. I'm struggling a little bit about what to think, but it just feels like there's something. It's just they need a push and they just need to get hot and get over the edge. And I said I was going to talk about Jordan Love a little bit. Jordan Love has been a good player this year. There's going to be those little points where you're like, what was that throw? And then he came back and delivered a dot down the sideline. I think that was the one to Golden after he just completely airmailed one. But Jordan Love has a 2.7% turnover-worthy play rate, which is better than Stafford, Goff, Jones, Nix, Dart, Lawrence, Purdy, Rodgers, Mayfield, Lamar, Tua, and Geno. He's the only starting QB in football with a big-time throw rate of over 6%. I think that's like 15 or 20 yards down the field. And a turnover-worthy play rate under 3%. He's only thrown 2 interceptions through 5 games. So, like, that's good. The run game started to come alive a little bit. Again, we found Matthew Golden. Tucker Kraft was still, solid for the little bit of touches he got. 2 touches. He made the most of both of them. And, but in the air, it was Golden or it was Dobbs. I mean, Dontavian Wicks had a couple catches. Obviously, they're beat up a little bit there. Christian Watson seems to be close to coming back. They put him on they pulled him off the PUP, so I think they have to play him by 2 weeks, 2 weeks from today, or he goes back on that. I forget all the exact rules on that, but so, a downside, Lucas Van Ness gets his first sack of the season now. He's hurt. But there's things to feel good about. 3-1, 3-1-1. That tie's going to annoy me for the rest of this year. Atop the division, that's good. Not being able to just put a team away, and they're going to have another chance next week to put a team away. The Cardinals are not a good team. Like, just go in there, do your job, and put them away. Because then you got to go to Pittsburgh, but then you get the Panthers. Like, there's opportunities to just put teams away there before you get on a stretch towards the end of the year where you're looking at Eagles, Vikings, at the Lions. You got the Bears twice. You got the Broncos, the Ravens, the Vikings at the end of the year. Like, the Ravens could have Lamar back at that point. Who knows? Like, you don't know what that team's going to be. That team's kind of a dumpster fire. Like, if they put the pieces back together, like, that's a tough game to win. So we'll see, but my optimism is coming down a little bit more and more every week when they just can't put teams away. So, we'll spin around the rest of the NFL here. Thursday night, the Giants just put it on the Eagles. Jackson Dart out there, Cam Scatterbo just doing things. Cam Scatterbo had 3 TDs, 19 carries, just under 100 yards. I believe he caught a couple balls, too. That was a while ago. Wan'Dale Robinson had a great day on my bench. Yeah, Cam Scatterbo caught 2 balls as well. So, big win for the Giants. Eagles fall to 4-2. Tough weekend for Philly sports fans. Obviously, you have the Eagles lose. The Phillies were eliminated from the playoffs Thursday night, and the Flyers lost their first game of the season, all on the same night. That's only ever happened one other time in history where a baseball team was eliminated, the football team lost, and the hockey team lost. It was Philadelphia back in like 1983 or something like that. Broncos get an ugly win over the Jets in the London game. Seahawks-Jags played a fun game. Jackson Smith and Jigba might be the best receiver in football right now, just with scenario and everything. Like, give me Chase Brown or not Chase Brown, Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson over him. But, like, in the scenario he's in, Brown and Jefferson don't have a quarterback to throw it to him. Sam Darnold's slinging it. I mean, he went 16 of 27 for 295 and 2 TDs, one of those to Jackson Smith and Jigba. So he may be, like, situationally the best receiver in football right now. Dolphins hung around with the Chargers, despite Tua having 3 interceptions. But Devon Achane had a big game, 128 and 2 TDs on the ground. And then I believe he caught a few balls. He had 4 balls as well. So Chargers sneak one out. Trouble in Miami. Tua in the postgame press conference, talking about guys showing up or not even showing up late or not even showing up at all to all player meetings. I mentioned it a little bit ago. Ravens remain just a complete dumpster fire, especially without Lamar. Sorry if you hear Boomer back there. He's strolling around and scratching his head and stuff. But the Rams get it done there. They improve. Colts keep winning. Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals tried to make it a game and tried to pull off the win, but the Colts 14 points in the fourth quarter after they were down 24-17. Cardinals again took the lead, 27-24, but a touchdown from Jonathan Taylor late gives them the edge. Panthers beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys just remain a disaster. They had it down to like the 3-yard line at one point in the second half, late in the game. Dak fumbles, then misses 2 throws. Another huge day from George Pickens. I mean, if you're going to talk about one of the best receivers in football, like I was with Jackson Smith and Jigba, you got to talk about George Pickens right now. He has 9 catches, 168 yards, and a touchdown. He's playing good ball. Patriots, maybe something going on there. I mean, it's the Saints, so let's not get out of control, but they're 4-2 now. Drake May played another good game. Also led the team in rushing, so that was something as well. But 18-26 for 261 and 3 TDs. Boomer's got something to say back here. Hey, buddy, come here. You want to come on? Coming? Come here. You want to come up? Come up. Yeah, look up here. Look up here. There's Boomer. Hey, buddy. Yeah. See, Hassan Piker, this is how you treat a dog on a podcast. You don't shot collar him like the pussy that you are. You just let him come up here and say hi. Hey, buddy. There's Big Boomer. Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you so much. I don't know what okay. All right, I got to get back to it. You going to talk into the microphone? All right. Good boy. All right, where are we here? Steelers get another win. Rodgers played nice again, 21-30, 235, 2 TDs. Rodgers is, showing that he's still got some stuff. He made a couple of really nice throws in there. Bucks keep winning. They're up to 5-1 now. Baker has got to be in the MVP race at this point. Just has to be. Chiefs get by the Lions. Thank you, Chiefs. Giving the Packers the lead there. Chiefs get back to 3-3. Mahomes plays a nice game. We have a little dust up at the end. Juju Smith-Schuster gets absolutely rocked. I believe that was a broken nose. I did not see that live. I saw that on the end there. So yeah, fun week in the NFL. Next week we got Bengals Steelers to lead us off on Thursday. We got Rams Jags, which could be a pretty interesting game. I believe that's a London game. Yep, at Wembley. Eagles Vikings. Can the Eagles get back on track? Sorry, Boomer is just making all sorts of noise back here. We got my Packers and the Cardinals. Colts Chargers, like a game that's going to be pretty important for both teams. 5-1 Colts, 4-2 Chargers. That's getting one of the late afternoon slots. We're going to get to see a lot of that. Bucks Lions Monday Night Football. As I said, that's a huge game from two really good teams. So we got a fun week coming up next week as well. All right, let's keep this thing rolling. All right, let's just run through some other sports real quick. We've been going a while at this point, so I'll keep this kind of brief. Over in the MLB playoffs, we had two series go to 5 games there. We had Brewers Cubs. Brewers pull that off Saturday night. On Friday night, the Mariners beat the Tigers. We mentioned already that the Phillies lose to the Dodgers. And then who am I missing? The Blue Jays had beat the Yankees already. They had won 3-1 there as well. So we have Mariners Blue Jays. The Mariners won the first game. They are already up 3-0 after the first inning. In game 2, we have game 1 Brewers Dodgers tonight. So we're down to 4 in baseball. I haven't watched a ton. I've caught a couple minutes of games here and there, so I won't bore you acting like I know anything. But I start to watch a little bit more during the CSs, the championship series. My Flyers, tough one, tough 2 starts. They go down 2-1 to the Florida Panthers in game 1 on Thursday night in the Philly sports debacle. And then on Saturday, they go to overtime with the Carolina Hurricanes and score what appears to be, forever briefly, such a short little window. The game-winning goal in overtime is called back due to goalie interference. I believe the Flyers player was in the goalie crease, but it kind of looked like the goalie came out and engaged him more than he engaged. I don't know. It didn't feel like that should have counted. Again, I'm an idiot when it comes to hockey, dumb, but they immediately then gave up the goal on the other end. But hey, at least they got a point out of it. So, well, what can you do? 3 games for them this week. They got the Panthers here tonight. The Panthers are 3-0 already. And they got the Jets and the Wild the rest of the week on Thursday and Saturday. A little home stand for the Flyers. 4 home games finishes up next Monday with the Kraken after 2 on the road to start. So maybe they can get back on the right track there. College football, we've talked a ton of Penn State already, so we won't harp on that any longer. South Florida and North Texas. I was playing some games with the boys on Friday night, and every time I looked over at that game, something wild was happening. They end up scoring 99 points, 63-36. That was a fun one. Alabama goes into Missouri and gets the win. Missouri has yet to play a road game this year, I saw. which is pretty wild. Through 6 games. Yes, they finally go on the road next week to Auburn for the first time. 0 road games thus far this year through 6 games. Pretty funny. So yeah, Alabama, all of a sudden, reports of Alabama's demise may have been a little quick there. Ole Miss keeps winning. They have a tight one with Washington State. Washington State actually had taken the lead at various points of that game in the early going up until the third quarter. They actually got the lead in the third quarter there. Closed it up late, but was just not enough. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin keeps rolling. Notre Dame keeps winning. Texas pulls off an upset. Texas had been written off out of the top 25 completely. They win the Red River rivalry, or what we used to call the Red River shootout. But they take down Oklahoma. John Matera just came back and played in that game, and they're able to take him down. Nebraska gets a win and finds themselves in the top 25 now. Obviously, game of the weekend, Indiana goes into Oregon, wins by 10 points, 30-20. Came out early in that game, got a lead after the first quarter. Oregon tied it up. Indiana took the lead. Oregon ties it up. Indiana takes the lead. Oregon tied it up. Then Indiana just kind of stretched it out at the end. Kurt Signetti, Google him. He just keeps winning. Texas A&M wins. USC beats up on Michigan. Georgia takes down Auburn. Nothing crazy, the rest of the way there. We've got LSU Vanderbilt this weekend. We have Ole Miss, Georgia. Ohio State heads to Wisconsin. We have Tennessee, Alabama on Saturday night. We also have Notre Dame, USC, which has gotten a little bit more enticing all of a sudden. Then we have the Holy War out there in Utah and BYU. So some fun games. And my Nittany Lions travel to Iowa to see if they can find a way to get a win there. So fun stuff in college football. Some fun games this week. Some fun games coming up the following week as well. So fun. All right, let's move on. Time for some passing thoughts. I actually just forgot to mention this in college football, but we'll just do it now. During the Oklahoma State game, the one fine gentleman walked over to an empty section in the stadium and went tarps off, took the shirt off, was waving it around, and then there was just a trickle of people. It was started with like 3 or 4, and then it was like 20, and then it was the whole section, and then it was 2 whole sections, and then it was 3 whole sections. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's just absolutely incredible. It was hilarious. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. I mentioned briefly the Hassan Piker thing when I was talking some NFL. For those of you who aren't aware, Hassan Piker is a podcaster, Twitch creator, whatever you want to call him. Generally considered a left-wing, voice, and some reports that videos popped out of what seems to be him shot collaring his dog while his dog was moving around in the background of his live stream. And then since there have been multiple videos where something similar seems to happen, dog starts to move. He reaches, you can see him reach off camera to grab something perhaps, and all of a sudden a yelp from the dog out of nowhere, and the dog immediately sits back in the bed. It said so much about what kind of person you are if you treat animals like shit. And just because you want your dog to sit in the background and be a prop for you and he'll do like 4 or 5 hour streams, like, you're a piece of shit, man. Like, if your dog can come in and sit there, cool, and it wants to, but if it wants to get up or go somewhere or go get a drink of water and you shot collar it because you just want the dog there, you are an absolute dog shit human being. And everything else about him, like, it tracks. Can't be proven. So, hey, it's just all, hypothetical here, but it seems to line up. And I've always thought that dude was an absolute piece of shit. And that just finishes it off for me. Like, to shot collar a dog because you just want him to stay in frame. Like, you're an asshole, man. Just a complete, utter asshole. And you deserve bad things to happen to you. Like, why don't we shot collar you? And, like, hey, there are a time and a place for shot collars with dogs. if you use them the absolute correct way for training so that they're not, running away or things like that. But like to do it because your dog isn't sitting still in the back of your shop for 5 hours, like fuck you. Just fuck you. Piece of shit. On more fun stuff. I didn't see the match because it's on ESPN and it's now $30 to get it. So I didn't see this wrestling match. But John Cena and AJ Styles, I saw all the clips. I saw the supercuts. They seem to have put on just a hell of a little show on the Crown Jewel event. Cena was hitting the finishers of all his greatest rivals. He had a Sister Abigail. He was doing the RKO. He did the Randy Orton TDT off the ropes. AJ Styles hit a sweet chin music. Cena finished it off with a tombstone into a FU roll up. Like just absolute gold. Just absolute gold stuff. It was so much fun to just watch through the clips. I wish I could have watched the thing, but I'm not paying $30. It's just no. I have to get a VPN or something so I can watch like Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. But yeah, that was so sick to see. We've only got like 4 more dates left of Cena, and the GOAT will be without the GOAT going forward. You've heard me talk about it a million times. I hit Texas Roadhouse up out on a trip for work. I love Texas Roadhouse, man. Like the rolls, the salad in the cold bowl. It's the best bang for your buck steak you can get. Obviously, you can get a better steak at a nicer restaurant, but like you're going to pay for it. Like for the value for what you get at Texas Roadhouse, it's perfect. Sat there, watched a little baseball. I believe it was the game the Phillies won 8. I think that like 8-2 game they won in game 3 to keep the series alive. Just a wonderful, wonderful night. Speaking of baseball, I forgot to mention this during baseball. There is absolutely no reason at all at this point in the world, in the year of our Lord 2025, that we should not have the robot ump. Like it's just unacceptable to just knowingly have things be wrong when you have a way to have it right. It's just there's no point. There's no point. I had this thought the other day, and this is like a dumb thing, and I was like, I said it to my wife, and she was the roommate, and she was just like, okay, like cool. I was going to get a shower, and our shower is just easy to turn on. Like I could just reach in, flip it down, it's on. It's strictly a shower, like so there's no tub aspect to it, so like you don't have to turn it on, pull it, and our like temperature is pretty simple. Like you just all the way on is like just a smidge too hot most of the time, but if you just all the way on, just bump it back just a little bit, it's like perfect. And I don't know. It's just like it's something in like life sometimes that you're just like, oh, I can walk by, I can flip the shower on, it heats up. By the time I take my clothes off, grab my towel, I'm ready to go. I don't have to lean in. I don't have to fuss with it to find the perfect right setting. Like pull it, flip it back just a smidge. I can walk in and the shower is perfect. Like sometimes in life, the little things like that are just so nice. And you forget about it. Sometimes you just gotta think about it and be like, hey, the nice things, just the little things in life are just so nice. It's nice right now. I'll tell you what is nice right now, but it won't be nice soon, is walking the dog in the morning with just a little bit of a chill in the air, throw on a hoodie, actually wore a hat and gloves. Got a little warm when I did it the other day doing it, but like it was just cold enough that like didn't want my little thingies out and my ears, get them covered up a little bit. And oh God, we're in like the great time of weather where it's like 45, 50 in the morning, gets up to like 70 at its highest, and then the nights cool off. Oh, it's perfect. Had a fire the other night. Hadn't had a fire in a while because I'd been down, and I call it fire season, for the backyard fire pit. It's like the fall. It's it's not too cold. You can't the fire when it's too hot. If you're just gonna go out and sit by, like if you have something going on and you start a fire, that's fine. Like if you're just gonna go out and sit by the fire, you need to be a little chill in the air so you can sit out there and the fire's keeping you warm. Oh, it's nice. It's nice. And yeah, I missed it last year because of my knee surgery and the knee injury, and just had my finals doctor's visit for that. Totally, cleared up from him. Just down to just once every other week or so for PT, just, tuning up the fine points. Again, just thankful for, being upright. You got to sometimes just take a step back and be thankful about some stuff every once in a while. And I got thinking of that too when I was out by the fire. My favorite part of the fire is when all the logs have burned down. It's just the coals. The coals are just glistening. And I just love looking in the fire. It's like, oh, it's so cool. Like just looking at that. And sometimes you do, man. You just got to take a step back and be like, look at this. Just look at the little shiny lights out of the coals of the fire. You just take that and look at your life and be like, hey, life's pretty good for most of us. So just, yeah, be a little thankful for that. So that's all I got. Son Piker's an asshole. Let's go wrap this thing up. Closing time, everybody. Just again, want to say thank you to Nick for coming on twice in the same episode. Thank you for all you guys listening, watching. Thank you for anybody who's, subscribed, likes, does all that good stuff. Thank you to producer Kevy for getting us started down the video path. We're back next week. More NFL, more college football, more baseball, more hockey, more of my wild, dumb thoughts. It's all here on Ole Walls House. Don't forget to check out our friends over at the Full Range Podcast and MJ on Spotify or on the Ole Walls House YouTube channel. Till next week. Peace.